Hi, my name is Juliet Petrus. I'm originally from Farmington, Michigan, and I currently reside in London, England. I am an opera singer, and I specialize in Chinese contemporary vocal music. I had always had an interest in Chinese culture and language when I was younger, but I grew up in the Midwest and there really wasn't a way to access that information. So my first real kind of in-person experience was in 2011. I was invited to join a program at the time called I Sing Beijing, which was a young artist program that invited young opera singers to come to China and have an introduction to Chinese music and language and culture. I can honestly say that it just completely took my career in a completely different direction I couldn't have anticipated. I so fell in love with Chinese language and culture, the people, the music. I felt such a strong connection to China during that time that I had kind of decided in my mind that, this was what I wanted to do. Being a musician, being a classical musician in particular, and learning a foreign language, I think that skill set from being a classical musician immediately finds its way into learning a language. There's a lot of memorization. There's a lot of time by yourself just simply studying. That as a classical musician, I lock myself in a studio for hours at a time. I think being a singer in particular is a huge benefit to me because it's allowed me to really hear and take in and be able to repeat the sounds that make the difference, the tones that make the difference in between being understood and not being understood in Mandarin. One of my mentors from I Sing, Catherine Chu, who after the very first summer I was there, I went to her and I said, Catherine, everybody needs to know about Chinese diction. And I said, I want to write a Chinese diction book. And she was like, that's nice. And because at that point I only spoke like 5 weeks of Mandarin. And she said, why don't you spend some more time in the country? Why don't you learn to speak the language? Why don't you sing more music? Why don't you learn the culture? And then we can think about it. And that took me the next 8 years and singing and going back and forth, spending half of my year in China studying Mandarin, so much so that last year I asked her the same question again and she was like, okay. So that's how our Chinese diction book came to be, which is going to be the first book of its kind to be able to teach Westerners how to sing in Mandarin.